Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Riccardo, the Roleplay Gamer, and I like to party. Welcome to Divinity Original Sin 2. I'm trying to get back to my RPG roots here, because listen, I'm the Roleplay Gamer, and I don't play anywhere near as many RPGs as I should, and there are many reasons for that we don't need to get into just now. But look, let's do it. Let's play Divinity Original Sin. So I have a character very much in mind here, that we're going to quickly build. Probably not going to take too long here, but say goodbye to the sexy dwarf maiden, because we're going to be a sexy dwarf man, but not, or are we? The truth may surprise you, but listen, we're going to be an undead dwarf. So just so that you guys know, let's have a look at what we got here. So they're actually pre-made characters here, but these are the companions in the game. It's actually really fascinating. So you can play from the perspective of one of these sort of preset characters here. But if you play as the Red Prince, for example, then you can't, of course, recruit the Red Prince in the game. It's a really nice system, but of course we're not going to do that. We're going to create our own character here. So you've got dwarves, you've got elves, you've got humans, you've got lizards, as you should. And then you've got undead, right? Undead dwarves, undead elves, undead humans, undead lizards. I loved like that. That is... They could have just let you be an undead human, and it would have been okay, but the fact that you can be an undead variant of each race is just the icing on the cherry here. Oh, sweet Christ. Okay, so we're going to start off with a preset, and that preset is going to be a Inquisitor, right? Because I like the idea of the, the big heavy mallet thing, and that doesn't lock us into mallet meta straight off the bat, because we're actually not going to have, what we're looking at right here. We're going to have pleb gear, but look at me. Listen, so we're actually going to call him, his full name is going to be Lord Vek. But we, Vek, so that people aren't calling us Lord Vek, because they don't know that we're a Grand Lord of old. So the story here is that good old Lord Vek was perhaps a bit of a tyrant king, a little bit of a Macbeth, if you're that way inclined. And there was a rebellion, and he was smitten down, and now he's returned in the form of an undead dwarf, and he wants to retake his kingdom in any way that he can. That's what we're gonna do. Alright, let's take off his helmet, and look, we can even color his bones here. It's beautiful. Antiquated. I think ivory, antiquated. Very subtle difference. But we're gonna go antiquated. It's just a little bit... He looks polished. His nobility, dude. I'm sure he polishes his bones. I actually like that hairstyle. It looks like you got limited hairstyles for the skeletons, which is perhaps appropriate. But let's just go for that hairstyle one, And we can also change the face, right? So hole in the head, we can actually have like this gold-plated thing going on. Actually zoom in on that, look at that. Well, this dank metal shit here, that's really cool. But I actually prefer the look of just the clean white face, because it looks best in the portrait, and we're gonna have to cover up the face. Probably for most of the game anyway, because one of the really cool things about playing undead here is you have to hide the fact that you're undead, right, from almost everyone except your companions, because people are shit frightened of undead, and they will attack on sight. So if you take off your hood and like stroll into town, you're asking for a fight, right? So for those who are unaware, you're not trying to escape. Let's just pick a voice here and we'll be good to go. Nice warrior voice. Prepare yourself. Yes, that appeals to me on a very deep and personal level. All right, let's go to presets. So for those of you who don't know, this is quite open and deep in the sense that you can kill any character you want. You can essentially go wherever you want in the game, but it's not quite open world because it's sort of level gated pretty heavily as far as I'm aware. So if you got balls of steel, yeah, you can go wherever you want, but you shouldn't. But it's still pretty open, and you have a lot of options here. It's really cool. Okay, so we're gonna keep this more or less how it is, but we're going to swap out Necromancer. I know, you guys are going, what? Riccardo the Roleplay Gamer not playing a Necromancer? What's going on here? And I'll tell you why that is. So the Necromancer is, it's pretty, actually, I'll put a point in Necromancer just to show you. what we start off with. We can raise a bloated corpse, and that's kind of cool. But I'll be honest with you, it's kind of ugly. Like it's meant to be ugly, but it's kind of really foul and sluggish and weird. We've got Mosquito Swarm, which is pretty cool. Bloodsucker, which is healing ourselves from blood on the ground, which is really nice. And Decaying Touch. Says the case the target will take piercing damage from healing spells and potions as well as doing physical damage. That's pretty cool. But we're not going to do that. We are going to... I just feel like necromancy isn't the necromancy that I hoped for. You know what I mean? It's not... I feel like a necromancer needs to just have like an army of undead. But we're going to be a summoner because this allows us to do some... allows us to do more summoning. It's sort of like it feels more necromancery to me in some ways. So we're going to do Conjure Incarnate, which is just like a little imp thing. Now what's really, really cool about this is depending on the material on the ground, in which, you know, where we summon the incarnate, it will actually be different. So if we cast it on a blood pool, it'll be specific to blood. If we cast it on ice, it'll be in like an ice incarnate, right? And same goes for the elemental totem. So the incarnate, when we're in combat, actually has a turn and we control it directly. The elemental totem acts on its own, so it's just like setting up a tower, like the defense, like tower defense sort of thing. It's really cool. All right, and then we've got our warfare skills here. Rush forward in a straight line to a designated point, hitting all enemies in your path with 20 to 21 physical damage and setting knockdown. Set knocked down for 1 turn. Damage is based on your basic attack and receives a bonus from intelligence. That's actually really cool. We can also do this like big stomp and knock a whole bunch of people down around us, which could also be cool. That could be cool. But I'm going to start with Battering Ram because it feels very dwarven to charge in and just cause some trouble, right? And I love that you actually get a bonus to the damage from intelligence, which makes this sort of battle mage kind of archetype really cool. And I'm not going to go through it because it's going to mess up what we've edited here, but there's a lot of really cool presets there. And the music's getting excited, so now I've got to talk louder. We got to get this done real quick. So of course we've got Sturdy. This is our talents here that sort of, you know, add flavor. Little stat bonuses. So of course we've got Sturdy, maximum vitality and +5 to dodge, probably from being a dwarf, and Undead. Undead lets you heal from poison, but regular healing will damage you instead. Right? So this allows us to get away with not having a healer, because it's essentially pointless for our character, but, you know, maybe we have one for the sake of all the others. But we'll see how we go. But the one I want to have here, I mean, we could even do Lone Wolf, which essentially allows us to, I think it prevents us from having... I'm not going to read through all that because that's quite extensive, but I think it allows us, it prevents us from having companions, but it boosts our stats to the point where we don't need it. That could be really cool for a later playthrough. But we're going to pick Combat Kid. I feel like it's most appropriate to, you know, for an undead dwarf. Once per combat, if an enemy lands a fatal blow, Combat Kid will help you bounce back to life with 20% health. If you die and are resurrected in combat, Combat Kid will be available again. How cool is that? It's essentially like, I'm a bag of bones, dude. You can't kill me, is what that's about. And then we've got tags, which define how people react to you in the world. This is so cool. So, what did I say? He's sort of a Macbeth type. He was a lord, he's noble, he's maniacal. He cut down in the prime of his reign by the peasants who got wise to his act. So we need to pick noble, and I think we need to pick barbarian. So hang on, I'll read noble. Born to riches and luxury, you have an aristocratic bearing, eloquent speech, and the finest manners. It's not like me at all. And then barbarian, they call you a savage, an animal. They don't know what it's like to need to fight tooth and claw just to survive. You do. Now I'm hoping barbarian translates into some brutal, dialogue options, but I don't know. It might not be what I anticipate, but I'm going to take a gamble there. And then we've got our instrument. And this is like, when I saw this, I'm like, this is a game, guys. This is this is my shit. So select instrument as your origin instrument. So I think this plays through in battle music, maybe, or something. I'm not actually sure what the full implications of this are, but just listen to the music for a moment. I hope you can hear it. How cool is that, guys? It actually puts the instrument into the Look, we're gonna pick cello because it's regal and sad and kind of. Oh, it matches the earthy despair and brutality of Lord Vek's reign. I think we're good to go. Warfare. Do we want anything? No, we want. Hang on. Physical attacks deal +5 more damage. Yeah. Warfare is it allows us to have the melee skills. That's fine. I think we're good. I'm pretty sure we can spec into other stuff, as we go along. And I didn't explain, we're picking Lawmaster, which is for identifying magical items, I believe, and maybe it does other stuff too. But it just seems most appropriate for our sort of arcane abilities here. So why is he magical? Okay, beware. Playing as undead poses unique risks and benefits. Undead must veil their true selves from the living or risk being attacked. Healing potions and spells will damage you, while poison heals. Undead can pick locks with a bony finger alone and can survive the scourge of death fog. I'm excited, right? So maybe a little bit of, the ancestor from Darkest Dungeon. He's dabbled into the arcane, into summoning demonic forces to solidify his power and reign. Let's do it. I am so ready. I'm unbelievably ready.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken, but instead I became part of their story.
Oh, yes. So I have no idea what's going on there, but Godwoken, is that us, Touched by source, as it were. Sorcerers. So here we are on this ship. So we're clearly one of those people that we saw chained up a second ago. It's pretty cool. It's fairly mysterious. I've played through maybe the first hour of the game.
Well, look what the doc dug up. You're lucky they didn't notice just how thin you were under those bandages.
Listen, who you calling thin, lady?
Although, seeing someone wrapped up like that, they probably thought you had the scabbing plague. Heh? Look, laugh, but don't touch. Better keep that hood down, mind you. The living don't take kindly to seeing their future staring back at them.
What a way to put it. It's beautiful. So as you can see, we've actually got voice acted dialogue. And that, I'll be honest, is probably... That's the deciding factor of me actually playing this game. Because I love CRPGs. I really do. Recently I played Tyranny, and it's a fantastic game. And I've got to get around to play it again and choose a different path. I really, really enjoyed it. But they're just not entertaining to watch, in my opinion, on YouTube. Because there's just so much reading, and it's really tiring. But luckily, that's not an issue here. Haha! It'd just be like playing Skyrim.
Yes.
But better.
Like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of work, even if I do say so myself.
Alright, calm down. So let's just have a look at our inventory right now. This is our situation. We're all covered up. We can hide the hood if we want, but I'm not sure of the implication of that. I think maybe if you uncheck, if you hide the hood, maybe the hood still is visible. It's just you can't take it off, because then then you're in trouble. Alright, so you'll notice we actually have a small poison bottle to start off with instead of a health potion. That's a nice touch. And just so you know, I have tried it. We can attack this lady right here, and we can kill her straight off the bat if we want. We're not going to do that just yet. We haven't really got a reason to do it for the moment.
There. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
Alright, so one little quirk of how the dialogue works is it's presented like a narrator is telling it to you, right? So you pull at the thing around your neck, futilely demand to know why she collared you, alright? Right, so it's not actually like you say this, like quote, this is what you say, it's, never, you understand what I mean. Noble option. Now that you're up, you'd like to bathe and dine. Tell her to ring for the service, yes. Grunt that you've never seen no wooden cave before. What is this place? I was not expecting that sort of dialogue from a barbarian, but we've done it now, and we're going to have to live with it. It's fine, it's emergent storytelling, don't worry about it. So, a dwarven voice. There's a example pretty soon of what our guy actually sounds like, so I'll try and mimic what the character actually sounds like, but, you know. Excellent. Now, bring me the servants, I would like to bathe and dine, thank you very much.
Oh dear. I'm afraid you're a long way from home, my lord. A long way from the little bells that make footmen come a-running.
Well, I'd say, room.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good.
Right, so you understand what's going on here? These guys are against Source, which is the magical substance that is responsible for magic in the world. As far as I understand, it's perhaps an oversimplification of what's going on here. But of course we have Source in us because we're magical, and they're taking upon themselves to lock us up, and because they think we're dangerous, right? All the people on the ship, so they're gonna cull us or God knows what. But that's what the collar's doing. Listen, what is, grabbing at the collar, this and that. That's what we're gonna do. What's all this collar about?
Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those Source spells of yours? See what happens.
You recall great powers building inside you, the ones you commanded before your capture. Unleash them. Let's do it.
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking, only to fade back into your soul like rain into the earth.
So rude.
You better stop before you hurt yourself. All will, but no result. There you have it, see? The collar's function. It neuters you, of sorts. Makes you unable to cast Source. For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's.
Oh god, I'm so mad. I want to strike her down real bad. Let's get out of here. I really want to strike. Listen, I'm enraged. We're going to do it. Let's fucking do it, guys. Alright, I'm going to prepare for this. You ready? I'm going to put down a totem. And a little guy there. And let's do it. Again. Yes, alright. Don't worry about it. So, we're controlling our incarnate right now. So we can attack. And again. Beautiful. She's actually not going to be much of a problem at all. I'm pretty sure we can mess her up pretty bad. So we've got one totem down. We can actually put down another one. So let's do it. And you'll notice it's on wood, right? So it's a totem, a wood totem. I think it just shoots out a little dart or something. Can we hit her from here? Yep. Let's do it. Listen, never miss in my presence. She's real dead. Crime scenes. Some crimes, like murdering or stealing, leave a crime scene. Even if nobody saw you commit a crime, they may stumble upon the crime scene later and start investigating. We also got tension, which I think ties into... It'll explain it later, so we don't need to go into it now, but ties into some of that stuff. One thing I'm a little disappointed about is that we can loot her, and we just got 2 gold, but it doesn't look like we can loot like exactly what's on her body. That would have been a really cool way to have some, you know, higher level equipment from the beginning that some people might not have realized was even possible. All right, we haven't. I just want to check the bookshelf before we scooch out here. I'm real mad. Poor Vek. All right, look. I'll tell you one thing. We're not gonna be able to take these guys on.
There's been a murder here.
I'll tell you that right now. Listen, let's close the door so they can't see the murder of our own.
In fact, he seemed quite averse.
All right, let's get out of here, dudes.
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
All right, I knew that was gonna happen.
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
I just wanted to hear his voice. The hatch is blocked. We'll need to find another way. So it's a little bit stereotypical quasi-Scottish dwarf, but also kind of not. I can deal with that. I can deal with that. All right. Let's take the rope. I don't know what we're going to need it for, but let's take the rope. Listen, nothing to see here. Let's not get ourselves involved, you know. As much as we might want to check out the murder scene, let's not draw attention to ourselves considering the mess we just made. All right. Look, yep. Looks like this is where everyone's hanging out. Okay. We just like steal whatever's not bolted down. Bottle of beer. Listen, I hope there's rum in this game because Vek's certainly going to be a rum man. Oh, what's going on here?
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
Young miss, may I join you?
She shakes her head.
Game for one, I'm afraid. Rolling dice. Deciding fates.
Right, what's this? Laugh, can she read the future in cow entrails as well? I feel like, listen, we're a bit of a disrespectful bastard. Can you read the future in cow entrails as well?
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no, but I can read the past in flesh. One of the perks of being an elf, you see. I'm quite good at it, too. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
I don't see why not. Extend our bony arm.
She looks at you in surprise when you bare an arm of bone.
My. Guess I'll have to find out the memory from Marrow, won't I?
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat grooming.
Listen, that was hot.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers, watching, staring at them, hoping that none would stare back. You were thinking of flesh, or, to be rather more precise, the pleasures of the flesh, those that have eluded you for so long.
Look, sounds like my Friday night. I like the idea of embracing this because, you know, maybe part of being, you know, a corrupt noble, pillaging and torturing and gods know what, you know, is a very decadent lifestyle, and perhaps, you know, getting to the point of very much like the Darkest Dungeon, I suppose, the setup for Darkest Dungeon, you know, getting to the point of like having access to so much and having so much freedom in pleasure, that you sort of like your senses dull and you have to seek out more foul, corrupt ways to get your rocks off. So, like, what a savage twist of events! Cruel fate. Why must you rub your Tabasco irony in my tender loins? Now he's undead and he can't enjoy any of it. All right, look. How are we going to play this, though? Snap at her? She doesn't know what in the seven heavens she's talking about. Stare at the ground, embarrassed. You had quite forgotten about that. Admit, wide-eyed. That's exactly right. Listen, I'm not sure we necessarily want to admit it, so let's stare at the ground, embarrassed.
She pats you on the shoulder consolingly.
There, don't you worry, darling. Your secret's safe with me. I don't lick until...
Oh god, she's doing something for old Vek, let me tell you right now. Alright, listen, after that, it's time to walk away sheepishly, I think.
She smiles contemptuously.
Rude.
Just a kitten in a corner, aren't we?
The great Lord Vek, put in his place by an elven witch? It's not right.
Never thought you'd end up a prison guard, Vek.
Fellow dwarves?
I always knew you'd turn out
Lizard men? Now listen. It is tempting to just talk to everyone, right? But we gotta think of like a roleplay perspective here. We're probably gonna talk to the dwarves and no one else.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on his knees. His beard is a cascade of meticulous plaits, each one braided through with golden medallions.
Magnificent beard.
He raises an eyebrow as you approach, but doesn't open his eyes.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
Wow. Alright, listen, there's only one response to this. Boy. Listen, young lad. I'm Lord Vek of the something or other. I don't know enough about the lore of Riverlong to accurately boast about a specific realm. But you know what I mean.
He opens both eyes and turns his head toward you, looking you up and down. He smiles and closes his eyes once more.
You look like a boy to me.
Jesus Christ! Am I gonna have to kill him too?
Listen if you're interested, or get gone if you aren't.
Did he just listen me? What is he, Kluga? Alright, fine. Look, alright. And what am I meant to be hearing?
The ship, of course.
Quiet and listen to the sounds of the ship.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your shipmates, the groaning of wood from floor to ceiling, the boom, crash and crackle of waves around you, complaints from the sea itself.
And?
Sea sounds angry, like it's trying to capsize the ship. Remark that the shipmates are as chatty as gulls. You can barely hear over the din. Tell them the ship is moaning like a sick man. Yeah. The ship is moaning like a sick old man.
Sick as a leper's cat. From the state of it, I'd say she's being cared for by a bunch of beardless babes who never loved anyone but their own mums. But there's more. Listen close.
Alright, close your eyes and try to let the ambient sound on the ship fade away.
There now, just like that.
Squeak!
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy. One great paw claps you on the back. The other catches you before you lose your footing.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news.
Nod. Aye, I heard it. What's it supposed to be?
It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Squeaks whenever the helmsman jerks it clockwise, which means we're heading east. Burn my beard. That means if we've been travelling for, yes, only 10.34 nautical miles to Fort Joy.
Look. Tell him he shouldn't talk like that about such a magnificent beard. Yes! Listen, you young whippersnapper. In my day, we didn't spout off so frivolously about beards. Something or other. Anecdote.
Ah, so you've eyes as well as ears, eh? You'll go far, mate. Even here.
Alright, no, you must be practiced sailor. Ask what the figure means to him. And what does all this mean to you, eh?
Captain, actually. And that figure tells me we're getting close to the joy. And close to what lies beyond it, too.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard, gold medallions jingling merrily. His eyes roll over to you.
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
Boy, indeed. Listen. We need to get some of that power back. It's not feeling good. It's not feeling good being called boy and being belittled for not being able to enjoy the pleasures of the flesh.
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Magister Williams is just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far?
Alright, ask if he'd be fine, collar like a dog, and stuck in a ship's hold with a... what? With a corpse and a murderer on the loose. Oh, okay, right. Listen, we don't know about that, though. Ask if he actually cares that you've been... No, look, we're not complaining. We're a strong, gruff, very amoral man. I've been through worse.
Trust me, with Bishop Alexander in charge, things will get a lot better from here on out. He's God-walking, you know. You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Alright, let's do this, baby.
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
Jesus Christ!
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there?
By all means, do as the officer says. But you had better hurry, because...
Alright, listen, sorry about that. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her hands and feet. And we said, apparently, say yes and turn to leave. This murderer must be brought to justice. Okay, good.
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
What?
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
Oh god. Listen, plot twist. It's not actually a fight. Good lord. Right, so there's something going on here about... It's not just the danger of magic being used and how it can be used and mistreated, but it's also an issue of... Apparently there's... What was it? The Void Walkers or whatever they're called? Oh, there's... I didn't even realize there's weapons in here. Listen, I've been missing out. Listen, I gotta search this area if there's weapons. Alright, hang on. A makeshift club. I'm not a fan of clubs, you know this, but if we have to do it, we have to do it. Pickaxe, two-handed axe. Two-handed mace. Scale, blah, blah, blah. Durability. Like, what looks cooler though? Hang on, let's go into fight stance. Listen, we're doing pickaxe meta. We're doing pickaxe. Also, listen. Speaking of the finer things, steal all the wine. That's how this goes. Cheese bread? Yes, please. And the ham? Yes. Salted pork. The salted pork is particularly good. And we'll take the broken sauce collar. You never know, it could be useful. Alright, let's get out of here, dude. Alright, troubled waters. So, for those of you who have never seen anything from this franchise before, part of what's going on here is you can actually pick objects up. And there's like environmental hazards. So essentially we just put a water barrel onto a fire.
Damn it. Need to get off this wreck and quick.
Alright. So we can use this environmental stuff in when my character just shuts up for a moment. We can use this environmental stuff in combat as well.
Something's pounding on the hull.
But, you know, as much as I'd like to look around, we're just going to get out of here, because that makes the most sense. You know, it's the middle of a fight. I mean, not a fight, the ship's going down, dude. Let's get out of here. Here we go. Dude! It just became, like, at least 100 times cooler, because there are tentacles involved. Alright. So, let's put down an incarnate, which can draw aggro, by the way. Right, and we'll put down a totem back here. Alright. There we go. Hang on, what kind of totem is it? It is a wood totem. Okay, maybe just the lighting makes it look weird. Alright, so we've actually got a skill here. Provoke. Taunt the enemies around you. Provoke and tease them so that they want to attack you, which is fantastic. So we can sort of be... We can kind of be an off tank, I guess, without actually having to tank ourselves, which I really like. Alright, we can't attack again, so we've got to end the turn. This is our attack order up here. I'm not 100% sure what determines it. It might have something to do with... like agility or something, I'm not sure. Alright, so we can put down another totem, which I'm going to do. They're just going to attack on their own. And we've put it in blood, right? So we've got a blood totem. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, and let's rush in here, right? So this is poison. Don't forget, we're undead, so that's going to help us heal. I'm going to run through here. Oh, can I not? I can go here, though. Alright. I missed. Come on, dude. It looks like the blood totem causes bleeding. You know. Oddly enough. Don't do that, you savage. Alright, let's put down another totem. Maybe on the poison. So we're going to get a poison totem. It's perfect. That's one down, is it? Yeah, we're good. Alright, we're actually taking a little bit of damage. There we go. Not even a problem. How interesting is that? You know, as a build. So let's just walk into the poison here. And hopefully is that enough to heal us? Look, slowly. We have to walk through it. That'll do it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Don't even worry about it. Alright, we're good. Let's get out of here. Did we... Yeah, alright, cool. Let's get out of here. Dude, that tentacle meta, though. Look, we're not helping anyone. We're getting out of here. We're Lord Vek, dude. Don't they understand who we are?
A lifeboat. That means there's still a chance.
Let's just head to the lifeboat, dude.
Shut your trap, kid. Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
You said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
Alright, call the dwarf a yellow-bellied coward. You'll return to the lower deck and check for survivors. The ship trembles beneath your feet, but the kid's right. So you'll go back to the lower deck and look for survivors. Tell the kid Gil is right. You just came from the lower deck. You're not going back now. Or reach for the release mechanism. Forget the others. You just won off this bloody ship. No, we're going to try... Listen. That's the openly cowardly way to do it. We want to be secretly cowardly. Child, my child. Gil is right. No, the dwarf is right. I just came from the lower deck. It's a mess down there.
Hear that, kid? We need to go.
But what about the ladder?
There's
right
no...
over there. You can go straight down.
There's no time to spare. Alright, let's go.
As the boat rocks downward, an old sea shanty passes through your mind. Should I soon lie at the bottom of sea, would Stoona carve out a marker for me? You clench your eyes and brace for impact.
Let's do it, baby. Let the tentacles... Oh, look at it! Up there!
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
Alright guys, here we go. It's beautiful. We're gonna finish up there after the loading screen. I'm very excited. This is totally right up my alley, and I wanna see this be a fully completed, nice, long series. Oh yes. You guys with me? I hope you are. The Adventures of Lord Vek! Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. Listen, I just want this loading screen to end. Get to it already. Thank you very much for watching. Taste the game, be excellent to each other, and I'll see you next time. Roleplay Gamer, out.